welcome to the show. There's so much we can talk about today, and I don't even know where can we begin. Maybe let's start with your name, because Sitio.
Yes.
Sitio. It's a very unique surname, and I also understand that you have actually do a bit of research and went to China with KF. So yeah, what's some history and what have you learned from the trip to China?
Okay, basically, Sito is all Cantonese. So you do not have Teochew, Hokkien, or other dialects. So my parents, they are Chinese immigrants that landed in Singapore. That's when I came out, my siblings. And then a couple of years ago, I was really wanted to know where I really come from.
Mm-hmm.
So myself and KF Sito, both of us are Sito, so we took a trip to China.
Yeah.
And I remember KF Sito brought his whole family genealogy, so I have nothing, so just a couple of contacts with the Sito clan in Hoi Ping. Hoi Ping is in Guangzhou. So we go over there. First thing is to makan first lah, as usual. So then a lot of very interesting food. We are going soon already. In March we are going for another trip. So yeah, we met some people from the clan, and then both of us couldn't locate our hometown. Actually I was feeling a bit sad. So never mind. We came back.
How long did you went for in the trip?
About a week.
Wow, so you meet up with the contacts.
We meet up with the contacts, and then roughly, because Hoi Ping is very big, it's not Singapore. This a small province, is huge. So yeah, came back and then do some research for totally 1 year with friends, contacts, and then finally there's some lead. So I brought my siblings. My siblings are elderly. Right now I'm 57. My siblings are 70, 80 years old. Grandmother, grandfather. My mom gave birth to me when I was 50, when she was 50 plus.
Yeah, you told me about
that
it.
was something, that's why I say my dad is damn power lah. So we went there lah. Some leads, and then finally we found the place where my dad was born, and went to my mom's home where she was brought up when she was a little girl. And then something I found about my dad, which was quite interesting.
Tell me.
My dad is a compulsive gambler. Even in Singapore, I know he really gambles. And then what I heard from the villagers, we talked to one old uncle, which is about 100 years old, and then he told me about my dad, more about my dad that I have ever known. He gambles, and then lost a lot of money, and then one fine day he decided to burn down the whole casino, and he fled to Singapore with my mom. And then yeah, this is something still intrigues me at this point of time.
Yeah, I mean, so what I was researching a little bit, you spell Sitio differently from KF.
Yeah.
Is there a different?
It depends on the official during the time, 1960, 19.
Oh, right. The passport.
It sounds like some of my relatives, their Sito is spelled as Sihu, Sihu.
Yeah.
Then some are Zeto. So there's a wide range of spellings, but basically.
And in Chinese, it's all written
Situ, yes.
Okay. Wow, that's fascinating, man. And also you told me, just casually mentioned that you work in an opium den with your family back in the days in Chinatown.
Yeah, my dad was a dealer. At that time when I was born, we already moved to a HDB flat, which is in 1960 is quite happening to own a HDB flat. Rent a HDB flat. Usually people are staying in kampongs.
Yeah.
So remember when I was very young, my dad will be cooking opium at home. You know, with copper pans, copper utensils. It's just like the French chef now. You know, everything is copper. So yeah, so when I was in about primary 5,
Okay.
you know, my dad has had some cataract in the eye, so he can't see much. He can't really have a good eyesight. So I helped my dad lah. You know, when I was primary 5.
And when did this whole thing first started? You know, what was your first recollection of sort of working with that? I mean, was the first thing when he came to Singapore? This was the first business, and he has always been in it, or that's
Yeah, when I was born, it's like that. So I can't recall what my father do otherwise. You know, so cooking is something very normal. Cooking opium is very normal. The smells of it is like very normal. You know, it's not abnormal at all.
Yeah.
So yeah, I help him, you know, doing packaging. So I remember last time you have the 3-5 State Express cigarette box in metal, which is flats. You know, I will used to pack for my dad. You know, opium. Opium is it's like some kind of like slimy stuff. So you take a lot of skills to actually put it on a piece of wax paper. When you just put, the whole thing will drop.
Oh.
So by primary 5, I'm an expert already.
Wow.
So I just pack and just measure, you know, on the weighing scale, and then just pack. So with 50 packs of opium, and then put inside a metal box, my dad will give me $5. $5 is huge, you know. And I was in primary 5.
What can you buy with $5?
5 cents, you can take a bus from my house, Queenstown, to Chinatown.
Oh wow.
You know. So my dad give me $5, and then I just give it to the old man to push up.
Oh wait. So what?
Equivalent to now,
Yeah.
I'll be hanged many times over. You know.
So you just you were the one packing, and then delivering to old man.
Yes.
Wow.
He went to the old man, the one that going to supply to the addicts in the evening in Chinatown.
Wow.
So when I was very young, I already see slabs of opium in my house. Slabs and slabs. You know. So I remember my dad was always telling me that one slab is 4.4 pounds. At that time, we still haven't gone metric.
Oh, okay, still.
So what I'm trying to say is that this opium originated from a country that is going metric system. You think so? 2.2 is 1 kilo.
That's true.
You know, 4.4 is 2 kilo. So yeah, that's what I recall during my younger days.
And what was the relationship with, you know, Dad, you and opium? Was the whole, I mean, it is is illegal still
To me, it's normal.
But
at that time, the CMB don't go and disturb old uncle smoking opium in the Chinatown. I still remember my dad told me that when the narcotic comes, he will tell my dad, "Uncle, ban sio, hey, don't go and sell to the young people. Don't go and sell to the young boys. You know, slowly smoke." You know, I remember when my dad went to the hospital to do something with his cataract, he was allowed to bring opium to for the whole process. If not, die, man.
Right.
So at that time,
Yeah.
still is
I
guess the government don't know what to do lah. You know, which I still very strongly believe that during that time, when heroin is not in the market, this opium, morphine is a very important part of nation growing. To me, it's really, you know, because if you can imagine during those days, 60, 70 at Boat Quay, you know, the laborers carrying, you know, sacks of rice and cargoes and what, you know, normal people can do. And then you have a 3 puff of opium, you are Superman. That's why I always believe lah. That's why I think lah, you know, is that part of nation growing. There's what is now Shenton Way. You know, you have nice skyscrapers.
Yes.
You know.
This is an integral part of it that.
The part lah, it's not the best part, but it's somehow during that part where Singapore needs a lot of needs to grow, is normal.
Yeah.
Muscles, you know. When you kena few puff of opium, is you know, you can do things that normal people cannot do. Yeah.
And I found this on the internet, and I'm not sure. I just want to, because I don't believe everything on the internet. The name of 18 Chef was actually from a gang that your dad belongs to.
Yes.
So
Yes, my dad was a gang in Chinatown, very notorious gang. So if you want to go down to 18, there's a lot of jitao, you know, 18. 18 is not only salakao, chao again, no, or xiu jiho. Last time 18, during our forefathers' day, when different dialects arrived in Singapore, you know, I told you my dad, after burning the bloody casino, he fled to Singapore. So, oh, you are Cantonese, one group. You are Teochew, one group. You are
Hokkien.
K, or you are Hokkien. Usually the Cantonese will form their own society, you know. Usually during those days, Lo Guan, usually Cantonese. Now you have Chapalang, even Indian also Lo Guan. You know, then you have Hokkien is usually Salakau.
right, and Zapui is a Cantonese.
My dad was my dad is Cantonese, but Zapui not only Salakau also Jiho, you know. Last time there's a Jitao called Hui Kwan, you know. You ask the old timer, those old timer, they will know.
Yeah.
This no.
So
Zapui
Zapui
Hui
is a
Kwan.
Gang is a conglomerate of gang.
Zapui is now has a lot of branches.
Also, like Salakau is under Zapui.
It's still 18. There's a lot of rivalry. Very complicated one.
Yeah, it sounds
You know, very complicated one. So my dad belongs to this group. So remember during my dad's funeral, there was a wreath. The wreath was very special. He was a Zapui, you know. So I asked my mom, and he told me about this Zapui lah. So somehow, eventually, later part of my life, I went into prison. I mixed around with a lot of gangs. You know, during that time, during my time when I was in prison, you need to identify yourself, which gang you belong when you're in prison. You know, which gang you belongs.
Why is that? So what if you don't have a gang?
You don't have gang, you got no place to actually. If you stay in a dormitory, you got no place to lay during that time lah.
Okay.
You know, and then you have no place during lunchtime. You know, you maybe squat in one corner lah. You know, so somehow you have to be identified with a gang. So you have no gang, it's quite tough for you.
Hard.
Yes, not now. Now it's a different prison system. Now the more
Comfortable.
I guess so, more systematic, where they actually have gone through so many years of experience managing.
And just to dig into the whole gang situation a little bit back in the days, is it more so the gang supports the sort of drug? I mean, I guess back then it wasn't like a negative connotation of like opium being bad, but the business that supports that is drugs and
Protection money, definitely during that time is rampant. Of course, now it's unheard of. During that time, when you want to do any kind of a small business, you know, depend on your vicinity. Which vicinity is belongs to which gang? You know, Chinatown is big. There's so many streets, so each street is controlled by a gang. So you need to belong to a gang. If you want to do something that is not so legal.
even if you're doing legal businesses, you still need a
You
gang.
need to pay some protection money, depending on the vicinity. You know, where which streets, where are you located? So the one that collect during those days, I'm not talking about now.
No, but sure.
No, I mean, I think it's good to. I mean, I don't know how Singapore is kind of like, and that part of history is not being written anywhere in books and all, and only true stories. Then we know that. I'm curious to know, what is your sort of like first experience with drugs? Is it through the opium?
I can't say. I was brought up during the hippies culture.
Yeah.
Where the rock anthem at that time was smoke on the water, which is a process of smoking grass.
Yeah.
So somehow you graduate, and you do some naughty things, you do something more naughty later on. So I end up smoking heroin, stole my dad's opium. One day I took the whole pack of opium and put inside a kopi ola and drank the whole thing and nearly died. You know, it was so steamed. It was so steamed, I lay motionless and then cold sweat running to me. I thought I'm going to die. So it's that kind of mischief, that kind of inquisitive, curious, and then somehow I thought it was going to be a passing phase. You know, any young man on the street, they have bad habits, right? As they grow older, they kick it off and then start life lah. So once I kena heroin only, that's it lah. There's no return, and somehow I got deeper and deeper into it. That caused me to go inside prison, VRC 4-5 times lah.
And did your dad sort of warn you about, you know, this whole, like, don't do it?
My dad warned all my siblings because he thought I'm the youngest, I will not get affected. He warns all my siblings except me. That is what he told me during his dying days. You know. He warned all my siblings. My siblings are all paikia or what. I said, never go and take drugs, never put tattoo, I will disown you. Don't ever, you know, even during your last breath where you want to die and then someone told you, you take this packet of opium and then you take it, you will recover. Rather go and die, don't go and take opium. That's advice to my siblings. How serious that advice? You know, go and die rather than go and take a packet of opium.
And did he explain why?
Because he has gone through. To him, old-time addict, old-timer, you know, it's not possible to give up opium. No matter how you want to, it's never possible unless you change the whole blood system. That's my dad's explanation of drug recovery. You know, that means you pump in new blood and then you change the whole system. You might. You know, that's what my dad's thought of recovering from drug addiction. Which I proved him wrong lah.
No, you did.
Yes, I did.
And your sibling all didn't do it.
Didn't. Nobody have that.
Miss you. It just didn't tell it to you.
Yes. Because at that time, although I do this packing of opium is just a normal thing. I go to school, I got good grades, you know, pass with flying colors, and then, you know, and somehow that he never think that he need to remind me.
And in the first prison experience in '83, did you already have the intention, before even going into the prison, have the intention to kick the habit?
You ask every drug addict, they have intention to quit the habit. You ask every drug addict, do you want to be a drug addict? He will say no. And then why do you want to go back? There's a question mark there. Nobody can answer. You know, inside the prison, you can swear, I will never go back to drugs again, because this is a very tough life in the prison. Once you step out, it's a different story.
Right, but even before you went in '83, did you already say, I don't want, or only after then, when you got out?
When you're high, you say you'll never go back to drugs. When the withdrawal symptoms sets in, then you hunt for it.
And you were almost in and out of prison for 4 times in the time span of 10 years. And
maybe
5 times to be exact.
What, lifetime?
5 times.
5 times. If you can just take a stab at answering this question, which is why is it so hard to kick the habit?
Okay. If you ask a drug addict, how can you explain when you're high on heroin? So you ask. I tried to ask a lot of friends. They couldn't answer. So some years back, I wrote a book, and I explained. I wrote it down how it feels when you're high on drugs. It's 100 times better than sex. It's 100 times better than sex, and that is who can just want to who will not succumb to that kind of temptations. Which later on I asked my friends. I think this is one of the best description according to my friends, because they can explain, because if you possess 15 grams of heroin, you're going to be hanged. You think drug addicts are stupid, you just put 15 grams of heroin in your pocket, you cross the street and you got caught, and then you will be hanged. People still wonder why. My explanation is because it's 100 times better than sex.
And this is specifically heroin.
Heroin. It's not about mischief anymore. It's not about mischief. You want to beat the system. It's so shook. When you are a filmmaker, your capacity is only up to here. When you kena heroin, you will never imagine your capacity can go up to here, or maybe higher. That's why most artists are heroin addicts, especially musicians. When you can come out with ideas until here only, when you kena the steam, it can go much higher.
I mean, so it's more than just human strength.
Yes,
it's also creativity as well.
Creativity definitely is creativity. Most of the drug addicts I know are very creative people.
And there are also other drugs in the mix. Why is heroin so much more, I guess, addictive than the others?
Most of the drugs I see now, they're addictive mentally, not so physically. Heroin is something is really mentally, physically, 100% irresistible, kind of drugs.
How would you? I mean, let's just take another drugs, maybe marijuana, for example, okay. Right? How would you describe the difference when the withdrawal kicks in?
You will not have the physical withdrawal. You just yearn to smoke marijuana, just like you yearn to smoke a stick of cigarettes. And that's it lah.
And
don't have lah. Heroin cannot. The feeling is you vomit, you diarrhea, you have physical pain. Physical pain is tolerable. You have the feeling of millions of ants just crawl in your bones, in your cranium. You cannot scratch. It's that kind of feeling. You just want to bang your head on the wall, and then you got high fever. Then you go and rush to the cold tap and just have a splash. And then it will give you some relief for a couple of seconds, then the heat come again. That kind of physical withdrawal.
And I guess after you go in the prison, you have this whole period of cold turkey, which is what you just said. And then coming out, we have no more cold turkey. Why do people still, go back? Because now it's not physical anymore.
It's in the mind. The mind is the most difficult aspect of rehabilitation. You cannot beat your mind, and then you just can't. Literally, when I see heroin, during those early years of rehabilitation, my knees wobble, literally wobble, and then I will just give in.
If a ex-offender or ex-drug addict specifically would come up to you and ask how to get clean, what would you say to them?
How to get clean?
I mean, so they are in prison, they got out, and they want to stay clean.
Okay.
What will you tell them?
Live one day at a time. Today you are not on drugs, you thank God. Can you live one day at a time? You can't, never mind. Live 1 hour at a time. After you're able to live 1 hour at a time, 1 day at a time, live 1 week at a time. I'm still adopting this principle, no.
Okay.
So if you ask me what I'm going to do in the next 5 years, I don't know. Okay, ask me. I will not talk about 5 years time. I talk about now. If today, the whole day, the whole week, the whole month, the whole year, I'm not on drugs, I thank God.
In as much as it is important to, well, say for example, you have that strategy of just leave 1 hour. So they just keep themselves in the room, or
there's many ways. So right now I've come to a point that I will not be affected by drugs anymore. I confidently say.
How did you get to this point?
I because of my faith. I'm a Christian.
Yeah.
I believe my God has took away that desire anyway already. So I can meet with very difficult situations in life, in business, in whatever problems I'm going through. The last thing I would think is drugs. So, not trying to say that I'm a perfect person. I'm not perfect at all.
Yeah.
So in this area, I know I'm settled already.
Okay.
So in life, I have to struggle in many areas.
And what would you recommend them not to do? Like, what is things that they should avoid at all costs when they first get out?
There's nothing to avoid. Okay. There's so many theories. Don't go back to your old friends. Don't stick around with your what's. And there's nothing to avoid. Because as long as you are live in Singapore, you will meet your friends. You don't meet him today, you meet him next week. Or maybe you 3 months later, unexpectedly, you meet your friend and then suddenly your whole mind or your whole confidence crumple and then you go back to drugs. As long as you're in Singapore, you're going to meet your friends. But I would say that don't purposely, for nothing to do, you go and visit your old friends and go and have a drink in a coffee shop, have too much of what. You don't purposely go and look for your friends. I'm not trying to say you have to avoid. There's nothing to avoid lah. Even if you go to another country, you might meet your friends, then how? So there's nothing to avoid. Just do your parts. Always remember you live a day at a time.
Would you recommend them to join the church?
I can't say because church is one thing that helps me lah. Okay. Different people have different faith. I see a lot of Muslims also give up drugs. I see a lot of Buddhists also give up drugs. I see a lot of atheists also give up drugs. So the thing is, I don't want to talk too much about my faith. I think my faith that has helped me and helped a lot of my friends. That I would practically say that I see a lot of my colleagues, they are more terror than me. They already give up drugs already. Muslim, Buddhist, whatever you name it.
When you first got out of drugs, I think you briefly mentioned it's because of this huge physical illness that you have that sort of propel you like a...
It's part of it lah.
Yeah.
I don't want to dramatize that one. That also somehow wakes me up while I was in prison. So it can be a very dramatic story to tell on this platform lah. I just doesn't want to continue with that. And then somehow it reminds me of my faith. Somehow then I take life seriously. you know. And then I continue to better myself and then move on in life.
How long is the time period where you can say right now that I'm not tempted with drug anymore?
Uh,
Get
I
there?
asked a lot of my friends, they still humbly claims that they are recovering addicts. I have to say that I'm a recovering addict, but I have that kind of very, very strong conviction that, my God, it took away all this desire already, lah, you know. I don't really need to go back to drugs in whatever situation, you know. During my days of my rehabilitation till today, my mom passed away, which I'm very sad. You know, there's one time when I came out and worked, my payday, I lost all my money, including my boss money. You know, these are the things that a lot of drug addicts will go back to drugs, to give themselves excuse to go back to drugs. I've gone through a lot of setbacks in my business. You know, I'm not doing well. I owe a lot of money, and then I nearly, I was in the verge of just end my life, but I never think of drugs. I never thought of drugs. There's one incident which I think I want to share is during I think it's 2010. My business was at its lowest level. At its lowest level, I owe a lot of money.
Yeah, that's.
I would say technically I'm bankrupt.
Correct.
You know, a lot of thoughts came into my mind.
How many stores was there already?
Three.
Okay.
You know, a lot of thoughts went into my mind. Hey, alamak. You know, because I've invested my whole life in this business. To fear is not an option. I cannot fear one, no. I fear everything gone, no. You know. So one day I was in a very, very, my morale was very low. And then suicidal thoughts are always coming to me. And then later on I realized it's very normal. A lot of entrepreneurs have suicidal thoughts. One day, I went down to a coffee shop downstairs to have breakfast. And then when I came out, I'm still very, very sad, very down, low morale. And then I was staying at 9th floor. So I pressed the lift, going back to my 9th floor. Press on the 9th. While I was pressing on the 9th, the lift door closed. I looked down. I saw something very familiar. I picked it up. It was one straw of heroin. No. One straw of heroin, kau no. That one, you cannot 3 napas, you fly. No. So the first thought that came in my mind, hey. Then I was at the lowest point of my life already. Just to get a tin foil, you know, just cut off that straw and just take a few puffs. Who knows, man? I'm not on urine test, you know. A lot of things went through my mind. So the lifts go 2nd floor, 3rd floor. I'm still holding it. Somehow the lifts open at 9th floor. The lift door open. Still the heroin is on my hand. So I step out. I throw away that straw of heroin down. My house downstairs was actually a construction site, doing some kind of MRT. Last time I was staying at Telok Blangah. You know, they are doing this MRT thing. That was a turning point of my life. That was a turning point of my life. After that incident, things began to turn better. 2010, that happens in 2011. My business has a big turn, and then somehow it becomes better in 2012, 2022 today. That was one of my biggest. That was one of the biggest turning point. I would have given in and took the 3 puff, and that's it, lah.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. Let's go back a little bit from your first store in 2000, Goshen.
2005.
2005. Okay.
at Geylang, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It didn't work out.
Yeah.
There's a lot of reasons why it didn't work out. Yeah. What happened there? Maybe tell us a little bit of history of that store too. And
That was my first.
and you also hired ex-offenders for that store, right?
Yeah. Prior to 2005, the start of Goshen, I was I have never worked in a restaurant before. Never worked in an F&B environment before. The only time I worked in a F&B environment is when I was in the prison. I was a tea boy. I cooked for the warders, the superintendents. So somehow goes back to many years ago when I was a young kid. I loved to cook, and then I can actually, you let me taste something, I can just whip up, I can replicate well. So later years when I go and stay in halfway houses, and I began to develop this cooking kind of cooking thing. So, in halfway houses, which I stay most Chinese New Year, all the residents cannot go out. They cannot go and join their family for reunion dinners. So I cook them 10-course reunion dinner lah. When you go to a banquet, you have your cold dish, you have your shark fins, you have whatever. I can replicate very well. So that was the first time I embarked on this food business, Chinese restaurant, 200 seaters.
200 seaters. This is big, right?
In-house only, my friend. Outside is a 200-seater al fresco. You know what I did?
What?
I bought a chef uniform. Print my name there. Executive Chef, Benny Sito. I've never worked in a restaurant before. Never worked in the kitchen before. But I guess I'm able to whip out reasonably good food. Do a 10-course dinner, which I did for a New Year reunion dinner during my stint at this. Somehow it doesn't work because of many reasons. One of the reasons is I guess I do not have management skills. Second reason is I do not. I hire too many ex-offenders. Why do I say that? Because drug addiction is very contagious. If one is on drug, it will affect the other guy will affect the other guy. It's just a domino. It's a domino effect. It will just collapse. So due to many reasons, these are one of the two main reasons. And it doesn't work lah. So that was 2005.
And you didn't hire anyone to come help you be at your side. Everyone is just sort of service staff.
No. We have chef. We have somehow I pao ka liao lah. Everything I do lah. So it doesn't work that way when you are in the restaurant business. So 2006, the next year, I went to work with Jamie Oliver in UK, and then to gather some experience.
So how did you first heard about this?
Well, I was cooking at Goshen. I have a lot of regular customers.
Okay.
I got a who's who as my customer list during that time.
Okay.
I remember the OCBC 3 bosses, the big bosses. They'll come for lunch. I still remember a lot of, shovel driven, and then they come to my restaurant. And then someone told me that, hey, there's this guy in UK called Jamie Oliver. He's also doing the same thing like you, hiring ex-offender. So in my heart, I said, who the hell is this Jamie Oliver? I don't know. I never heard of him. So what I did was I Googled, and comes out 15 Foundation. And then there was a chat room. So the CEO of 15 Foundation was a British guy called Liam Black. He's the CEO of 15, which Jamie Oliver's restaurant. So he has a forum. He has a chat room. So everybody in the world was asking him about food, about Jamie Oliver, about. So I asked him this question. Hey, Mr. Liam, I'm a Singaporean. I run a restaurant hiring ex-offender, but I don't think I'm very well equipped with the know-how. Can I come and join this program as an apprentice or what? Then he replied me, he said, it's not possible, no way, it's only for a British. So what I did was, I never gave up. Every 2 days, I asked him the same question.
And you private message him.
Then he said, I told you already, we only for British. So the next thing I did was, every day I asked him until he fed out of me now. You know, so he said, okay. I replied to emails.
Before that, it was just in the forum.
Okay.
You know, then somehow I was given an opportunity. So I grabbed this opportunity to slot out in the kitchen.
What was the point at Goshen? Has it already been closed when you left? Or?
When I went to UK, it's still open. When I went over there, it closed. There's many reasons. There's many reasons which I doesn't want to wash dirty linens in the public. You know, if you want to, I just doesn't want to continue to. I want to move on from there. So it closed, and then I completed my internship. Came back.
Is there a specific thing that you wanted to learn when you go to 15? What was that?
I've never worked in a restaurant before. I opened Goshen, I'm the executive chef, I plan the menu, everything, you know. I want to go to the next restaurant where I want to see how this famous celebrity chef in UK is able to run a very successful restaurant business, and it's a 6-month reservation kind of thing, you know.
Oh, wow.
You don't walk in and just have a meal kind of a restaurant. No. 6 months.
Is it still 6 months? That sounds a lot.
I remember it was not during my time there. Okay. One day Bill Clinton and his whole entourage actually make a reservation at Jamie Oliver restaurant. So Jamie Oliver's restaurant is every morning 8 o'clock we will gather together. Hey chef, what do you have inside your kitchen? What do you have in the kitchen? Pasta department, what do you have? You know, then they write a menu every day. No? So in other words, I cook what you eat what. You don't ask questions. You want to make reservation, same goes to you. So I think one of the aides of Bill Clinton told Jamie Oliver that, hey, the president don't eat certain thing. Can you try what? So I think Jamie Oliver tell him, eat, don't want to eat, just what lah, you know. So that kind of so it's really eye opener for me. What's the real, you know, world-class restaurant, and then from there I learned a lot of things.
I learned a lot about your experience over at 15.
Before I was there, I don't even know what is tenderloin, what is aglio olio, what is a beef bolognese, I don't know. I'm mainly a Chinese chef. He asked me how to make rendang, maybe I still can. So that was a real big eye opener for me. So I just work in different departments, and so I somehow, I can't say I learned everything. I have a glimpse of how a restaurant should be run professionally. Came back to Singapore, I worked in a restaurant for a little while, and then 2007 18 Chef was started.
You didn't manage to get to meet with Jamie.
One day I was at the trattoria first floor. I saw Jamie Oliver, my leg shiver, man. So I work in the main restaurant. The main restaurant is in the basement. So upstairs is the trattoria where I think you don't need 6-month reservation. So one day I meet him there. I didn't want to talk to him. I somehow, I was not as outspoken as right now I am. I'm a very shy person. I can't even talk well. I can't even. I have a very low self-esteem. I always talk to someone. I dare not to look into his eyes. I always feel violated. That kind of, you know. I was 55 then. 55 years old. I was a trainee. roughing it out with a lot of various kids, 15 years old, 16 years old, you know. So that's that kind of environment. So I met him and then talked to him. I regretted. But I work closely with Jamie Oliver Sifu.
Which
Jamie Italian, you know Jamie Italian? Italian is a guy, you know. His mentor, which is called Gennaro Contado.
Yes, some of his shows is
Yes, I was. He's always taking care of me in the kitchen. So if I'm 8 a.m. shift, I finish work at 4 p.m. He will walk me to the station. You know, very nice Italian mafia with leather jacket, kind of. Yeah, that's a good experience.
And Liam Black, any interaction with him?
Liam Black.
Finally, you are the one who keep pestering me.
I went there. He was a really, really nice guy. He's a CEO of 15 Foundation. He answered every email. You know, I wish I could be like him, lah. You know, sometimes I think I'm so busy already. You still ask me this. Everybody is asking me, you know, to do a film or do a what and do something. But he answered every single request. This man is admirable. Yes. Even an insignificant Singaporean, ask him, it's possible to do an internship. I already tell you so many times now, you still kind of disturb me, still answer my request, spoke to me through email. Then I booked a flight to UK and stay in a hostel, go and work, you know.
When you came back to Singapore and started 18 Chef, because you mentioned there's a mentorship program over at 15, which is the 2-to-1, two chef to one ex-offender. Did you adopt that?
Yes, I adopted initially. I have a crew about 12 or 15. I hired one ex-offender only. The rest are probably not ex-offender. So as I grow the company, at a point of time, I have 50% of my staff are ex-offender, which is hard to handle. So right now, while I'm talking to you, I have about at least more than 100 ex-offender working in my organization. I have it's about 20%, you know, which is manageable because we have built a system, and then somehow there's a group of ex-offender now. They're in my management level. We look after the younger ones. So as the younger grows, they look after the younger. So there is a system now in all my outlets, and then they will be systematically assimilate to the system. They will be trained, you know, and then that's where they want to build a career, move on in life, one day at a time, 1 week at a time, 1 year at a time, and move on from there.
So tell us a bit about this system, because I read that the first thing HR policy does is that they plan the career path of every individual.
The first day any employees step into my organization, whether they are ex-convict or non-ex-convict, or whether they are full of tattoo or no tattoo, the first day they come into my organization, I already plan a career path for you. So I just give you an example of one of my friends. He was with me about 6-7 years. Anyway, 18 Chef is 10 years. And coming out with as a chef, as a cook, can't even speak English, cannot understand English. So cook lah. And then what he did was every day he will bring back the whole stack of food dockets. Food dockets are slips when an order is fired, and then you got this, and then you got to read. You cannot read how you're going to cook. Right, so he bring the whole stack home and memorize. Memorize until you see only you know what to cook. You know. And then even if a customer say, well, I want more chili, less garlic, you also can see. Just by memorizing. Now he's my executive sous chef in my office. taking charge of about at least 5 outlets now. In charge of the food costing of that 5 outlets. That's the kind of career path I'm talking about. You know, and many more stories like that.
And why did you implement this policy? Because this is not something that maybe your 15 does, right?
No. I have to be very relevant. This 21st century already. Singaporeans don't need a job. They need a dream. You must help them to attain that dream, you know. You ask Singaporean to work in F&B, they will never want to work. So I have to plan it for them. You know, anybody can see this guy, Ah Beng, cannot even read English now. He's in that management level, you know. So this is example for you to follow. You can be like him, lah. You learn and work hard, lah.
And on the note of marketing, you take a huge stance not to use hiring ex-offenders as a marketing angle.
Yes, never.
Why do you?
Because if you walk into my restaurant, it's just a restaurant. You don't see ex-offender pictures. You don't see a yellow ribbon, which I really don't like the idea. Because if one of my chefs make it in life, succeeded, it's not because of any campaign. It's because of they work hard for it. They want to change. They want a better life for the family. They work hard and then they continue to grow and then they're successful. It's not because of any campaign. So I hate the idea of using that to market the restaurant. That's how stubborn I am, lah. You know.
Yeah, no, and I think the whole stigma with yellow ribbon.
It's still a stigma.
Yeah, it's still a stigma because people still keep using.
Yes, because they think, oh, you now you change. Oh, wow, good man for this ribbon thing, you know. So I think that is not true, leh. You know. So it's still that they help themselves, and the worst thing I see is if you go down to the hawker center, you see people using that ribbon thing to sell certain items, selling pen for $10. This is very disgusting to me, lah. I think it make the whole ex-offender make us very low, leh. You know, I approach some of them and say, I can provide you a job, but that one is faster money, lah. So yeah, lah, they choose to.
Or they never take up your offer.
Yeah.
You probably have seen a lot of social enterprise around in Singapore that pop up and and are gone the next moment. Why do they keep failing and failing and failing? And then what did they not get that you see that they didn't see?
I guess they are most social entrepreneur or aspiring social entrepreneur are very kind-hearted person. They just want to help. So the question I want to ask, where is the money from? Where the money come from? You know, I guess you must have a business plan. You must have a good business plan. You know, one lesson I've learned is 2010, where I couldn't pay my arrears for my shop at Tiong Bahru Plaza. They sent me a law letter. That wakes me up. This is life, man, brother. You know, you cannot pay, I'm going to sue you, man. You sign a 3+3 for me, you know. I realize that making money is damn important there. If you can't help yourself, how can you help anybody, any people around you? So if you cannot help yourself, don't try not to talk about helping others. So I wake up from this whole idea. I really wake up. Then I always say that the business aspect is very important. And if you were to tell me social enterprise is not making money is not important, then might as well change it to a charity better. You ask for donation, you know. Social enterprise, the word enterprise already is telling you that you need to work out, do a good business with that resources. You help a lot of people. That's why I say that, yeah lah, if they do not, they are, maybe their weakness is they are too kind-hearted.
And on the note of F&B businesses, you say that if you want to destroy the life of your enemy, just ask them to start an F&B business. Why is that so? There's so much people wanting to start a cafe.
Yeah. When they start, then they know lah. This is my advice to a lot of aspiring restaurant owner. First thing, you must have a lot of money. If you ask me right now, a very direct advice is, if you're thinking of doing a $500,000 restaurant business, sell up everything, make sure you have $3 million in your bank. First few months you're gonna lose money. Maybe the first year you're gonna every month lose money. Maybe 2 years you're gonna lose money already. Whether it will take off or not, still don't know yet. So
why are so many people so excited about starting F&B business?
It's glamorous to be a restaurant owner lah. Nowadays people thought that, hey, I own a cafe. Wow, it's so damn easy, man. Damn stylo, man. My peers will look at me. Wow, you are successful. You run. Everybody wants to be a restaurant owner, but they have to, must have a lot of money lah.
And you mentioned you hire people with top dollars, right? Some of the people in the organization. So, what skills do they have, that would make you hire them with top dollars?
They must have IQ, lor. I told you I do not have IQs. They must know how to solve my problem. Even if I'm going to have a holiday in Spain, they must solve my problem. I need to be notified every hour or 2 hours. I need to know what is happening in my restaurant. So these are people. I hire the best people in the markets in my top management team. So that they make sure that they able to run my business successfully.
And so let's just say, for example, someone would like to work in top management. What do you think are some of the most important skills one should actually start learning already?
Top management, you need to teach me what to do, man. I don't teach you what to do. I'm going to teach the normal people what to do. You need to advise me how I'm going to manage it financially, in certain things that I don't know how to do. HR, I don't know nothing about HR. I need a very professional HR which has worked in top companies to advise me what to do.
Got it. All right, so let's dive into a quick round of questions. The answers is quick. Question is quick, but you need to answer quick. So, other than your books, are there any other books or books that you would like to recommend?
I don't read a lot, I must confess, so I don't recommend any books.
Any favorite documentary or
documentaries? I'm always addicted to the GeoNet channel, and then recently I saw a very interesting documentary about cordyceps. Dong Chong Chao. Is it Dong Chong Chao?
Yeah.
And I see how the Tibetans, the Nepalese actually, they went to the highest, coldest part of the mountain, and then they are going to hunt for cordyceps. It's a life and death for them, And then they after that they transport it in Hong Kong. Those medicine herbs is very big in Hong Kong. They are selling for millions of dollars, which really intrigues me till today. And then I this kind of documentary really relaxed me after a hard day's work.
What have you purchased under $100 that have most impacted your life?
$100 most impacted my life. Below $100.
Around
Around $100. I would say I can't really think of uh, what I bought under $100. Oh yeah. I recently I got some porcelain from uh, I think there's a 50 plates, very nice plates, which was uh, uh, used for SIA first class. I don't know whether is it good to say SIA, because they're going to clear most of their porcelain. Very nice. One whole box, less than $100. So I go and buy lah. I still haven't used lah. So I love to invite friends to my house to eat with a nice crockery. I think that's something a chefs is interested to do lah. You know.
If your chef friends from the UK were to come down to Singapore, what are 3 places that you'll bring them to?
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, some years ago, my chef boss in 15 came, and then first thing he asked me, "Hey, I want to get some Oriental knives." You know, chef loves knives. I don't know. You know, so brought him to
The Chinatown.
Temple Street lah.
Seng Huat, is it?
I don't want to
Okay.
well lah. So he was so excited about, you know, those knives, and then this is to bring them to Chinatown for food lah. Although Chinatown has lost its charm lah, sad to say, you know. And then they still, I'm still proud of bringing them to our hawker centers.
If what food will you, or what store actually, what store and food do you, you know, will you bring them to? I mean, if you have the time,
Yeah, I have the time. I bring him to one of Zi Cha store.
Which one?
I would recommend KEK. It's a good friend, and then good foods at Jalan Bukit Merah Lane.
KEK.
KEK.
K and then
E then K.
Okay.
Seafood. You know.
And what dish?
Crabs, chili crabs, affordable, rather than you go to the East Coast part where they will slaughter you like mats. And this one is more. I love to. There's a lot of good local Zi Cha dishes with at affordable price.
So chili crab, if you were to go there.
Crab and salted egg yolk crab and fish dishes and prawns.
Okay, KEK.
Yeah. I'll bring you to KEK.
All right. Is there anywhere else?
Where else? There's okay. I will bring him to look for this in Chinatown. Probably eat the braised duck at my friend's store, Melvin Chew's Jingji, selling law one.
Jingji selling where in Chinatown?
Chinatown Hawker Center.
Is it in the complex?
Yeah, complex. Or I bring him down to the Jalan Besar, eat wanton mee. You know, and this Linda, my good friend also, and then probably bring them to Tekka Market, go and eat hae mee. The normal $3-4 hae mee, normal one lah. Or maybe bring them to my hawker friend Douglas Ng. You know the fishball story.
No.
He's the one young 26-year-old, good-looking hawker-pruner. Till this day, still doing his fishball artisanally. You know, still refuse to let the what you call the supplier to do. He wants it to be the real original during 1960, where the uncle used his left hand to squeeze the fish meat and then to do it one by one. These are a couple of hawkers there.
Okay, so Douglas, what's his name of
Douglas
the
Ng.
Douglas Ng, and then the name of the
Fishball Story or something like that.
Fishball Story.
They have one store at this Timber Plus.
Oh, okay.
So it's the only young man to 26 years old.
Yeah. So wanton mee at Jalan Besar.
Yes.
Now I at this hawker center,
Chinatown.
Chinatown and Hae Mee in
Tekka.
Tekka. I'm talking about $3-4. I'm not talking
No,
about
no,
those.
yeah.
Those affordable lah. You
Yes,
know,
yes.
good food must be affordable. If good food is expensive, then I will think twice.
Okay.
What is the worst advice you see or hear being dispensed in your world?
Hey, go and open a restaurant lah. Hey, wow, very very, you know. Then open a few more lah. This is the worst advice lah. This is the worst advice.
Any advice for your 25-year-old and 40-year-old self, and place us where you're at?
25-year-old, you still have to go through a lot of failures. It's okay to fail, you know. And then when you're 40,
Where were you at 25?
25, I'm in the prison. 40, you still have a lot of time. I became a chef when I was 45. So when I really see money coming in is when I'm 50 plus. So my point is, if I can become a chef in 45, when you are below 45, you can do anything you want. Don't be restricted by your age. You know, you have to adapt to changes.
When you think of the word successful, who came into your mind and why?
Successful, who came into my mind? I find that I can't think of anyone that is successful. Depends on how you measure success. You measure success by the house you stay, the type of house you stay, or the car you drive, or the credit card you have, or the amount of money in the bank. I always measure success in the sense that you are doing something each day that you enjoy doing. You love your work. You love what you are doing. I love my job. You know, I love that I can run a successful restaurant business, and I can actually impact many lives. I think I'm successful. I think I'm successful in this sense.
Do you have any routines or habits that help you achieve your daily, monthly, and yearly goals?
As I said earlier on that I do not have a certain amount of years planned or by what year I am going to. But for the past years that as I share with you, I grow the business one shop after another. And when I see opportunity, I grab. You know, when I see opportunity, I just grab. You know, to me, nobody knows what's going to happen tomorrow. Will you envisage that Trump become the president of America? You will not know. So I would not. I still adopt that one day at a time, 1 year at a time kind of philosophy in life. Yeah. So I would not say that no matter how what kind of discipline. I remember during those days when each month I only do 20,000 sales. So if today my sales for the restaurant is only $300, I have to be very thankful. You know. Then as it grows, my sales today is $1,000. I'm thankful. So it drops to $200. I have to be thankful. But I think you are thankful with the small little things. Then I think that is the most important thing. Somehow, as my business grow, I'm really thankful. You know, and I will, that's the only way I can answer that question.
What are some of the most common misconceptions about you or your work?
I always look fierce on the camera or photos. I think Rest assured, I'm not a very fierce person. I'm a very friendly. If you talk to me, I can have a lot of things to relate to you. Yes, I probably you might think that the chefs will love to eat at expensive restaurant. I must I really want to tell you that I love to eat char kway teow or your mee kuah or your chicken rice. So I don't. I love to eat at hawker centers. Hawker center is something very close to my heart. I don't go to atas restaurant to eat, unless I want to learn something from that restaurant. You know, unless I want to uh, 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 replicate uh, something for my own restaurant.
Are there any asks or requests for the audience who are listening? I want them to think about a question, read a book, or go to a restaurant. Is there anything?
I can't think of. I have nothing.
Where can people find you or your projects on the internet?
I would just say come to my Facebook page. I might not be able to accept requests that I don't really know. And probably if your Facebook request you do not have a profile picture on on your page, I will not accept definitely. I want to know the person, my Facebook friends. I want to know who he is or who she is.
And 15 Chef, just go on the website.
18 chef.
18
18 chef.
Sorry.
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay. So we're done.
Yeah. Okay or not?
Okay lah.